Blake Lively ditching the US for the UK is in headlines today, but I told you about it 6 days ago. But look at how they're trying to present it. They're saying that the couple is, quote, discussing moving to the United Kingdom. They're just talking about it. No, how about you actually bought a property there and you've been fixing it up in preparation to move there, allegedly.
Isn't getting the offers, and there hasn't been anywhere near the same interest in her since the Baldoni drama exploded. She's burned bridges, and most people in the industry seem to be steering.
Hollywood has shut its doors on Blake Lively as her several films are being shelved. Before her highly publicized trial arrives next month, she and her husband are reportedly planning to depart for the United Kingdom. According to this Daily Mail report, the couple have considered moving to the UK in an effort to escape the ongoing backlash against music, them, and also to restore Blake's remaining reputation again.
Online, Blake Lively is preparing to flee America to the UK.
As they are also planning to flee America to Europe, I guess closer to Wrexham, where Ryan is having much more success. They love him there because he helped build that.
Trying to restore a reputation in another country is a classic PR strategy, but it overlooks the reality of what's unfolding on the ground in Hollywood today.
Just tell us that the new Queen of Mean reputation has directors running so scared she may never land another big movie role.
While Blake concentrates on her upcoming trial and her life abroad, the parts that were once hers are silently being reassigned, starting with this movie called The Husband's Secret. Now, music. If you read books, you've probably heard of Leanne Moriarty. She's the author who wrote Big Little Lies, which became this huge HBO series that won every award. The Husband's Secret is another one of her books, and Sony Pictures had been developing it as a movie since 2017. They announced it with Blake as a lead actress and executive producer. For years, it's sat in development, which is normal for Hollywood. Studios take their time, they find the right director, they get the script right. But here's the thing. When fans lately checked the major movie databases, Blake's name wasn't there anymore. Sony may be actually moving forward without her. And guess what? This was supposed to be a guaranteed hit. Adaptations of Leanne Moriarty books are like career gold in Hollywood. They win awards, they draw huge audiences, everyone wants to work on them. But the firm looked at her recent situation and they made a business decision, which was basically that having Blake Lively as the lead actress, music, was just too much of a risk. They would rather start over with a different star than roll the dice on someone who might cause problems on set.
This still says it's in development on Blake Lively's IMDb. However, the author, Leon, she is on a radio show basically saying things have changed. Doesn't sound like she's attached anymore.
That's the thing people don't always understand about Hollywood. At the end of the day, it's still a business, and companies don't want to work with people who create unnecessary drama. Remember this movie, It Ends With Us, which was meant to be her major comeback. Music, well, it actually performed pretty well at the box office. Good enough that everyone believed there would be a sequel, which is now possibly not happening at all. In a normal situation, an actress would return with a massive pay raise and everyone would be celebrating. But Blake ended up burning that bridge entirely. She became involved in these intense public conflicts with her co-star and the director, Justin Baldoni, music, which has now led to a trial scheduled for May 18th, 2026.
According to Baldoni's lawyers, they stated that she was spreading misinformation to damage Baldoni's career and working directly with New York Times publicists to spread this false narrative, even going so far as to give illegally obtained text messages to spread her narrative.
Even the projects that music are still moving forward aren't looking very promising. There's this sequel called Another Simple Favor, EW, which is a follow-up to that film she made with Anna Kendrick a few years back. They completed filming it in 2024, and everyone was excited because the first movie was genuinely really good. But then rumors began spreading that Amazon had basically shelved the entire thing. Multiple theories said Blake was refusing to promote it. They said the tension between her and Anna was so bad that there was no way they could do a marketing campaign together.
Part of that is because Blake refused to promote the film, so Anna had to go and do all the legwork. Blake was dealing with It Ends With Us and her mess with Justin Baldoni. It seems like she needs to work on her personality differences with
Director Paul Feig had to come out and publicly deny all of it on Twitter, saying, "Music. The movie is completed and arriving soon." Don't believe everything you see on social media these days. Which is basically what we are witnessing right now as both Ryan and Blake attended the red carpet for the movie premiere. But here's the thing. The fact that people accept the rumors so quickly tells you everything about where Blake's reputation stands at this moment. When the internet hears that a movie might be canceled because of her actions, music, everyone's immediate reaction is, yeah, that makes sense.
And the last time she was in a book to movie, as we're following all the drama on TikTok and their lawsuits. So they really need to recast this. One, she's going to ruin the movie. She already ruined it. Ends with.
Similarly, there was this fresh movie announced in late 2025 called The Survival List. The story was about this reality TV producer who gets stranded on an island with a fake survival, music, expert, and must rescue herself. The announcement was met with instant ridicule online because, music, let's be honest here, people noticed the irony. Blake playing a talented producer who has to step in and save a project from an incapable man, while in real life, she's the one being accused of attempting to take over movies from directors. It was a little too obvious, and the internet absolutely called it out.
I thought The Survivalist was IMDb for her past co-stars, and good luck to the director dealing with her drama.
Industry experts said the movie would never actually get made. They said no serious director would sign onto a project with her right now, knowing her reputation. They thought the whole announcement was simply a music PR move to make it look like she was still getting hired, while the reality was that her career was completely frozen. And frankly, they were probably right because to this day, there's been no real movement on filming that movie. It's just another announcement that went nowhere. Another music project that exists only on paper while the real work of actually making movies never happens. Or maybe it's no longer a fit for Blake Lively. Maybe she just wasn't interested. Don't worry, she's still attached to all of these other ghost productions that are going nowhere. So, when you put all of this together, when you see project after project just silently disappearing or never materializing at all, you start to understand why she and Ryan are packing up and heading to England. There's simply nothing left for her in Hollywood. But here's where things get really messy. And by messy, I mean hundreds of millions of dollars sort of messy, because not only was Blake losing movie roles, music, her entire business empire was essentially collapsing in real time.
Maybe it's no longer a fit for Blake Lively. Maybe she just wasn't interested. Don't worry, she's still attached to all of these other ghost productions that are
Over the past few years, Blake had been positioning herself as this lifestyle expert. Music, right? She wanted to be the kind of celebrity who transitions from acting into being a business mogul the way people like Jessica Alba or Reese Witherspoon have done. She launched these brands called Betty Buzz, which was a non-alcoholic drink mixer, music, and Betty Booze, which was the alcoholic version. She also had this hair care line called Blake Brown. Now, music on paper, this all looked pretty smart. Celebrities make money on lifestyle brands, all. Music, the time. But here's where things went completely off the rails. In the summer of 2024, while she was doing press for Justin Baldoni's movie, Music, she decided to use those interviews to promote her beverage brands. She was literally telling people to go grab some of her music cocktails while talking about a movie that dealt with really dark topics. Matter of fact, here's the video where Blake Lively's alcoholic drinks company was being promoted during the premiere of It Ends with Music Us.
She's blacklisted from Hollywood. We're all watching her downfall play out live. Girl, you were literally rich and famous with a great career. All you had to do was not be a horrific person, but you couldn't.
Fans didn't like this at all, and the figures show it. Her hair care line saw sales drop somewhere between Music, 56 and 78%. Her products were supposed to be this major launch with Target music stores, but once people saw how she behaved, they just stopped buying. It turned into an actual boycott. Her beverage company alone lost around $22 million. But here's the thing that really gets me. The business analysts who looked into this said the companies were on a bad run from the start. Like, really badly run. Internal documents showed that Betty Buzz was basically drowning in debt. They were so broke that they were repeatedly robbing Peter to pay Paul. By late 2024, they needed $10 million just to cover their operating losses and another $7 million to pay back upset early investors who wanted their money back. They couldn't even make payroll. Shoot, they were missing rent payments and tax deadlines. And the thing is, Blake's own business partners were pointing fingers at her. They said she was basically a no-show for marketing events and appearances because she was too busy trying to take over her movie sets. The result? Huge stockpiles of expired drinks just sitting in warehouses, completely useless. Music. So not only is she losing movie roles, she's directly hemorrhaging money on businesses that were supposed to make her even richer. That's a double whammy that would make anyone reconsider their situation. But here's where things get quite interesting, because this is the part that truly might hurt her the most in the long run. And it's about her friendship with Taylor Swift.
Her at a recent launch event. It was for her brand Betty Boo's, as they're launching new vodka iced tea lemonades. At the event, Blake mentioned how excited she was to be there, which that's a comment.
During her recent controversy with Justin Baldoni, some private text messages between her and Taylor became public. When Taylor watched all of this chaos become public, she was very upset. Music, not only because of what Blake did, but because her private messages were now circulating around the internet. Taylor is very protective of her privacy and her reputation. Music, having her personal texts used in someone else's situation was the last thing she wanted. Sources say Taylor, Music, basically instructed her team to remain far away from the drama. She wanted nothing to do with it at that time. And the result was Blake and Taylor, who used to be photographed together constantly, haven't been spotted hanging out in public since October 2024.
Source close to Taylor Swift says that Taylor feels she has no choice but to draw a line. Their friendship collapsed months ago, and she doesn't want blurred obligations linger.
Taylor's preparing married to Travis Kelce. This is going to be the wedding of the decade. And sources say Taylor's inner circle is seriously divided on whether Blake should even be invited. People close to Taylor are saying they don't see Blake as a must-have guest. Music, there's just too much baggage right now. And here's the really unfortunate part, or maybe the funny part, depending on how you look at it. Blake is apparently in total denial about all of this. Reports say she truly believes she's going to be at that wedding. She's acting like the invitation is just waiting for her in the mail. She feels entitled to be there because she was around when Taylor and Travis first got together. And if losing Taylor Swift's friendship wasn't enough, Blake has also been kicked out of something that was basically her private playground for over a decade. I'm talking about the Met Gala. For years, she was like the queen of the Met Gala. Just her appearances, there were huge events. People would literally wait for her arrival the way you'd wait for the headliner at a concert. But now she's done. She skipped the event in 2023 and 2024, which was already questionable. And as we approach the 2026 Met Gala, rumors are flying that she's been officially restricted from the event. The Met Gala is controlled by Anna Wintour, the editor of Vogue. Music, she's basically the gatekeeper of high fashion. And she does not tolerate any mess at her event. She spends an entire year curating this party. And she only wants people there who are going music to bring class and prestige, not controversy.
A rift, and I think that is an understatement of a word, a rift between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively. Taylor feels like she's been...
So, when you bring all of this together, what do you Music see? A woman who lost her film career, ruined her business ventures, damaged her most important friendship, and was pushed away from fashion's biggest night. Is it really surprising she's packing Music up and moving to England? Because honestly, what else is there for her in Hollywood right now? Now, I think many people assumed that Ryan Reynolds would be okay throughout all of this. Like, surely his reputation is strong enough to survive his wife's controversy. Music, right? But here's what nobody expected. Ryan's reputation is suffering major damage right now, and honestly, it's partly because of his own choices.
Lively and Ryan Reynolds were definitely uninvited from the Met Gala, and Anna Wintour ain't got time to play these.
When people began examining Blake's attempts to take over her movie, they started noticing her strategy seemed very familiar. It turns out Ryan had done almost the exact same thing, Music, years earlier with the Deadpool franchise. He got into this major dispute with the original director, Tim Miller, and essentially pushed him out so Ryan could take control creatively himself. He used his influence, his financial power to remove Music, someone from their own film. So, when Blake attempted to do the same thing, people started connecting the dots. They realized this was how the couple worked. They believed they could simply overpower directors and take whatever they wanted because Ryan had managed to get away with it before. The difference is this time the public was watching, and they did not like what they saw. Music. Paramount Pictures canceled 3 different movie projects that Ryan was attached to. One was this sci-fi movie about Area 51 that nobody knew much about. Music, and another was a Ferris Bueller's Day Off spinoff.
Paramount. Go here, Ryan. That is so imperative that you're literally destroying your wife's career over. Why can't you guys say, we got too upset, we got too hung up, we're agreeing to end this, we're apologizing, whatever you got to do, get out. Because if this all comes into court, the way you are just such a, I'll say it,
The studio basically examined all the negative attention surrounding him and his wife and decided it wasn't worth the gamble anymore. Music. They didn't want to deal with someone who had a reputation for removing directors and creating music chaos behind the scenes. And here's where things become really complicated for Ryan. His biggest source of income, the Deadpool franchise, is suddenly facing uncertainty. Now look, music. Those movies have earned over $1 billion at the box office, which is incredible. But his latest one cost more than $500 million to produce music because of all the costly reshoots and filming in the UK. Disney executives, especially Kevin Feige at Marvel, are music known for avoiding oversized budgets and production drama. And Ryan brings both of those things now. Sources say Disney hasn't really pushed for the idea of creating another Deadpool sequel. They're not saying no, but they're definitely not rushing to hand him more money to spend. Oh, and here's an interesting little detail. Ryan was actually replaced by Neil Patrick Harris for a voice role in some meta VR project that features Deadpool, like his own character, and they handed it to someone else.
Paramount dropped him. He was supposed to, was it 1 film or 3? You tell me, Rob. It included
I think it's a combination of 3. It was a package deal of 3.
According to their friend circle, who used to spend time at the couple's luxurious parties, say they aren't the same anymore. Music. Apparently, they're exhausted, they're not as enjoyable to be around, and they're becoming increasingly private.
Last week we learned that Deadpool is getting his own VR game on the Meta Quest system, and Neil Patrick Harris has been tapped to voice.
Ryan knows the entire situation is dragging him down, and insiders say he's worried that Blake's mess is going to eventually hurt his career, too. When you step music back and view the whole picture, it seems like Blake Lively is not simply leaving Hollywood because she wants a change in her lifestyle. She's not relocating to England because it's a smart business move or because Ryan's bubble of positivity. She's leaving because Hollywood essentially showed her the door. And she, music, had no other choice but to go somewhere else. Her movie career is basically frozen. The projects she spent years building just got shelved. Her business ventures are drowning in debt, with products literally rotting in warehouses. Her most famous friendship, the one with Taylor Swift, is in turmoil while she just got banned from the Met Gala, which was basically her personal playground for over a decade right now.
Apparently, they're saying not only have Blake and Ryan lost that spark, but friends detail a tired couple, depressing life, and admit she's just not.
The move to England, to that home in Barnes, isn't a fresh chapter. It's an admission that what she created here is damaged beyond fixing. She's retreating to a place where Ryan's soccer team gives them a small bubble of positivity, a place where people might still support him without knowing all the controversy. Music. She's hoping that distance and time will eventually cause people to forget what happened. But here's the thing about burning bridges. Once they're destroyed, they're destroyed. There's no rebuilding them after the flames have finished their work. She made herself unwelcome in every important room, and Ryan is right beside her, watching his own golden goose begin to look much less golden. This entire story, it's a reminder that fame and wealth, they don't shield you from consequences. At some point, the bill arrives, and it doesn't care how many followers you have or how massive your house is. So yeah, Blake Lively is planning to leave for the UK. And whether people want to accept it or not, that's exactly what it is.